Look. Whoa!
Whoa!
Hi, welcome.
Whoa!
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Queer Peer Reviews. Of course, here at this channel, we review queer media, good, bad, and ugly. I'm your host, Bruce, and today, again, I have my co-host, Justin.
Here at Queer Peer Reviews, we review your favorites and not so favorites of films, games, and other queer media.
Today, we're reviewing the sequel to the Castlevania Netflix series, Castlevania Nocturne. And I was honestly super excited to see this.
Didn't you forget? I thought you did.
Forgot what?
You forgot that it was airing, and then we found it magically. I completely forgot.
Can you just repeat?
But we did have luck. At least I did. I binged the entire series in one night.
And daylight savings hooked us up with another hour to get this done.
Yes.
I think I like the way it was done. The animation is gorgeous as always. Everyone actually there looks beautiful. There's no ugly people in there. They didn't have to go that hard with the designs, but they did. And a lot of people were excited too because the vampires were more diverse in this one.
Yes.
Mass diverse. We have and they think they said Aztec, but he's also voiced by Native American. Orlox is the one we're talking about, and he has a transformation beast. He turns to a dragon, which
Yes.
he likes. But yeah, and this show follows now. This is like years later. This is Descendants, I think by 300 years.
Yes.
And we go to Richter Belmont in like this French Revolution era, and now the vampires are wealthy aristocrats.
They always are. They always are. They're also in the New World. They're also vampires in the colonies and mainly in this story, Dominique?
Yeah.
Saint Dominique? Mm-hmm. That is a place where they're making a foothold there for themselves, using plantations and slavery and things like that. The animation is beautiful. The art is gorgeous. Even like subtle moments where they're like looking around a room or something just really feel over the top.
The camera work was
very decadent.
The camera work was done amazing. The 3D adding to the 2D was done spectacularly. Yeah, I love the story wise, and another reason why we're reviewing this, just like we did in the last Castlevania, is because we have more queer characters involved here, like Orlax again.
Yes.
Because the way he is like he's more of an antagonist because he lost his lover, who was also another tribe, like another Native American. Yeah. And he sleeps with one of the characters in the show, which is amazing. It's funny because it's like such a quick turn.
Yeah, and the other thing too is it's incredibly tasteful. I mean, I think you get in after the act has happened, and it's just like they're talking to one another and they're plotting and things, and they're exchanging information in these very like cutthroat, almost like dance. It's hard to describe. It's just like
it's a waltz.
Yeah, it's like a waltz of a conversation where they're explaining things and they're talking about their ideals and they're talking about their motivations and their all sorts of stuff. And it's just I can't. It's hard for me to even function at like a level like that to understand what people are saying and double speak and all sorts of things like that. So it's crazy to watch everyone in the show kind of do it constantly.
And one of my things with two of my favorites, Castlevania, is like I said, you're right. Like, and what works is the voice actors. They did their jobs well, like speaking how they should. Yeah. But also sometimes the tonal shifts, like Orlax, like he's trying to tell them, like helping, like some of these guys, and then he's just like the one where it's like, just read the fucking book. He talks so eloquently, and then he's just like, okay, just read the fucking book, and just moves on. Yeah. That was my favorite part with Castlevania. It was like you see all these ancient beings, and you expect them to speak with like such high vocabulary, but they just speak like
like commoners.
And so like the story revolves around the new antagonist is no longer Dracula or Camilla. Yeah. It's now this apparently who's actually like supposed to be an actual goddess. Like
apparently she's older than Dracula, which was like very confusing to me. I was like,
where was she in the the rest of it builds a lot more questions, which I hope we'll get answers for another season. But this whole season was like a build up to her, and I think next season is just going to be like the shit happening now.
I think one of the things that made me laugh the most was when Richter gets his magic back, because it's effectively like power of friendship, but it's like why at no other point has this ever
That was the one where he grabs him and he's like, I don't know what to say, so just fuck it. And then
yeah, and he just burns him up. But it was just like weird to me. It was strange to me when he decided to, you know, like he just magically got all his powers, and then it's like it didn't feel earned. I really, really liked Annette. I loved Annette's character. I loved the magical system that they gave Lynette, and like the historical things that I know.
The use of Creole language.
Yeah, they used Creole as the magical language for the slaves, effectively, for the slaves from the colonies. And their story and the way that they're given a lot of screen time in a way that felt genuinely impactful. I feel like Annette, in and of herself as a character, really speaks to something primal in me. And I know that it's a little bit of pandering in my, you know, complexion-y case, but it's like, there's so much about stories like that don't get talked about. And I also like Orlocks for that same reason. So it's just very interesting to me. But I was a little also upset that like the entire season felt like just like a kind of build up to...
To be fair, in defense, just a bit of defense.
Yeah.
The Castlevania season 1 was only like 4 episodes, which was a build-up itself too.
Yeah.
If you think of it.
But I feel like maybe because I didn't have any expectations going in.
And because that season felt like they're towing the waters how they feel. Because it was only 4 episodes. It was like a touch, and like they were trying out with the animations and the storyline.
And I was also really confused when Death came in later. Like that made no sense to me at first. But like I do now, looking back at it, I can really appreciate it for what it tried to do. And also with this, again, you have the whole like religion bad. But it was just really interesting. Like all the characters were really well thought out. I would argue, except for, and it sucks because it's kind of like they're not the two mains, but the one girl, Maria and
Richter.
Richter just felt weird. Everyone else felt like a more real character, or more dramatic.
But here's the thing. He's an amateur from when he starts, but when we see in the original Castlevania, Trevor, he's already an expert.
Yeah, he's much older, he's already refined,
experienced, all that. So he's already like strong at the get-go, kind of.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm giving this show a major shot right now because I'm hoping I'm hoping season 2 we're gonna see like more development. Mm-hmm. Especially with that crazy guest appearance, which we're not going to mention because that's a big spoiler, and it's all at the end. So watch that show. But like when that person appeared, now we know shit's about to get real.
Yeah.
Shit's about to get real.
There was the one woman who gets the power up basically from the
Drolta?
She gets like fire hair, which I thought was kind of cool, but like I don't know. She looked like she was in a lot of pain. She was walking around in heelless heels. Those things fucking hurt. I should know. I own a pair of them.
She's a vampire.
Yeah.
So she could do that.
Yeah, that was just crazy though. And she's like fighting in it, doing like kick flips and all this stuff. I was like, whoa.
I mean, well animated too.
Yeah, no, that's another thing. There's a lot of really beautiful shots, but there's also a lot of really technical like shots, like things where you're like the camera's moving and the perspective is interesting. Even the last show was beautiful. This is also just beautiful again.
As we say, queer-wise, we can't confirm the sexuality for like Iserbet, the goddess, the Messiah they call her, the main antagonist, and Drolta. But as far as we know, their main victims they prefer are women. So I think they're very queer.
And then she doesn't like drink their blood per se, but she like licks the blood off of her hands rather than biting them, which is throughout the course of the series, but especially this season, like it's seen as very, I don't want to say sexual, but it's at least seen as like pseudo romantic, like what like kissing somebody on the neck would be like, basically. That's the
it's been like that, right? Yeah. I was honestly like, damn. I can see why people simp hard with vampires.
I mean, to be also, like I said last episode, they represent strength, they represent financial security and stability in a time where most of us can't afford anything. But the problem is, it's like a lot of the time that they have this wealth is through subjugation and slavery or like deliberately like malicious means. And so you get this weird sort of situation where it's kind of like Patrick Bateman type. Basically, that's what you're dealing with there. Like, would you date a Patrick Bateman type if it meant that you were sort of safe? Because you never really know if they're just gonna have a bad day.
But it's a woman.
It all comes back to that core concept of would you risk the safety of everyone that you've ever known and the future potentially of the entire human race for a hookup? that's the question that I'll ask you, viewer. Write down in the comments. Would you risk the entirety of human existence for a hookup?
Let's get to those reviews. How about that? Let's get to those funny ass reviews, huh? All right, let's start off with representation.
And so, for representation, I'm gonna give it a.
What'd you give it?
I give it a 7.5.
Oh, okay. I pay 8.5.
Yes. I don't think all identities are represented.
All we have,
ones that are.
All we have is Orlax and Mizrak.
Yes.
And the vampire bitches. Isabeth and...
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that name.
Give me 1 second. Drolta. These names are... I don't know. I want to know who got those names because I can't make up names easy for my OC, so I don't know how they thought of Drolta. And it sounds good.
There's a lot of different cultures in here, and it's...
You have to look up, like, old names. But anyways.
Yeah.
Representation-wise, I think it's still good. I mean, it's soap money because it's like... At that time, like, queerness would still kind of be... I don't think so.
I think, again, and you see this a lot, where the queer representation and experimentation within... Also, you're an immortal. You're an immortal. You're going to tell me you're going to just sit there and be hetero for 1,000,000 years? Yeah, I think not. I think you're going to realize that there's a whole bunch of bullshit that you've been fed your whole life, and that now you see beyond it.
Well, you know, if you think about it, if you read the book Dracula or what, remember that fear in the 1800s was like sexual perversion and shit like that. So it still reflects still in Castlevania where like every vampire here looks like they're ready to fuck, either they kill or fuck their victim, and we can't tell what. Yeah. You know?
That's the craziest part. I mean, I feel like it's very similar. You know what I mean? The idea of violence in the form of killing somebody, and then also passion in the form of like fornicating with someone. It's supposed to be this very intense thing, and so I feel like that's what vampires do. They're just constantly intense. They're constantly talking in double speak, and you never know exactly what they want.
Should we put a title here? Castlevania Nocturne, gone sexual?
Yo, honestly though, you probably fucking should.
No, because
I think that would be good.
Look back at the original Castlevania. The vampires didn't have that vibe a bit. Only like Striga, but she already had a girl.
Yeah.
I had no vibes from them. Maybe Alucard for that one scene, but that's it.
Yeah.
Every vampire just like acts like a monster.
Yeah.
In here, I don't know. Up next, queer comfort. For queer comfort, you give it an 8. I give it an 8.7.
I give it an 8 flat.
I mean, everyone there is hot.
Yes. For some people, it might be an infinite amount of comfort because you just like the idea of goth mommies, but for some, it might just be average because there's a lot of horrible shit that happens to people. People get ripped apart limb from limb and sucked dry, but maybe you're into that. I don't know.
You could be straight, gay, asexual, no matter what, and yet you could be still attracted to any of these characters because they're very attractive.
They're drawn very.
Even the background characters look attractive. I'm like, damn.
Even the monsters, like we were saying before.
The monsters,
they're like, oh, the hell monsters that are demon monsters. It's like,
this appeals to all audiences, all human and monster fuckers alike, and vampire fuckers.
Yeah, I would say everybody except the Catholic Church. They look pretty fucking ass.
Catholic Church is not gonna like this. They don't look that good. They're not gonna like this one, man.
They're not gonna like it. They're not gonna.
Another event where the church causes more issues than they should have been. Awesome. Next up, writing.
Para la escribe.
I give it a 7.6. 9.7? You fucked with me.
Yeah, I really liked. Hold
on. You said you didn't like it.
Can I explain myself, sweetheart?
You're fucking with me. I thought we were joining in on this.
Can I?
No, I don't want to know. No, I want to change this shit now.
Okay. And now for writing high, we did these. These are points. These are the new ones we did. Yay! Look, we wrote new candy apples.
Should we redo this? I feel like we fucked this up.
Yay! Okay, so Bruce is very handsome, and I love him very much. I made this. I chose this number because I definitely didn't choose any other numbers. The reason why I say 9.5 is because mostly of Annette, but also because of the mom. I really like how the mom was written and how you learn about what she did and the priest and stuff. Because you don't like the priest at first, and he gets even more shitty. And that's hard to do in like the last fucking second. Not only that.
And it gets worse for the mom.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is another spoiler we will not bring up, but yeah, it does get worse.
I don't necessarily love Ezra Bat because she doesn't, like, she shows up out of nowhere and is apparently a bigger threat than Dracula because she can fucking blot out the sun. I guess Dracula technically could do that by making big clouds and stuff of his own face, but like, I don't know, it's just weird that she's never name dropped at any point in the other series, but I'm trying to divorce that from the last series. So if I'm just holding this by itself, Richter arguably is one of the weakest characters in this story so far, but that could very much be fixed next season.
Yeah,
I personally am biased. I will fully admit that on this review, that like Annette's story, there are a lot of reasons why I like Annette a lot as a character and that speak to me as someone of color. And I really like that
and she's Caribbean.
Yeah, I really like that they also, it's not just Annette, it's also Annette's like teacher and also Annette's mother and Annette's
Eduardo too.
Yeah, and Eduardo as well. So it's like this whole diverse thing, and they're given arguably more, I don't want to say screen time, but they're given more nuance than I feel like these characters, like the mom and other people. Mm-hmm. Well, the mom gets again screen time, but it's like she ran away and now it's not really her story anymore. It's more about her daughter, and even the daughter is like kind of like a whiny little girl who doesn't understand the gravity of the situation she's in. Whereas, and Richter is literally Richter says, he's like, oh, I don't really believe in anything. I'm just here because you guys were nice to me, basically, that you guys are my family. So I'm gonna protect my family. Kind of like Ike almost from Fire Emblem. Mm-hmm. So for me, Annette's story feels very poignant to, again, kind of like BLM and like stuff that's going on now, because she's trying to systematically fix stuff that's been wrong with the ruling class. And it's like, you know, that would be really nice to see for someone to like overcome all of those trials and tribulations, especially as a revolutionary during this revolutionary period of French history, but human history, and potentially liberating everyone from vampiric rule and potentially even the rule of like capitalist bullshit. So it's like that, for me, is something that I don't see anywhere. I don't see that in Fiona and Cake. I didn't see that really in a bunch of other shows that I've been watching and that I've been just ingesting over the course of the last few years. So it's like that, to me, even though again it's not super explicit, is very, very good. And I like that a lot.
All right, next up, originality.
And for originality, we give it a rating of?
I give it 8.5.
I give it a 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know enough to rank this, but I think that there's definitely, they have to change a lot of stuff up. So
I don't know enough, but I know vampire media, that this is pretty good, that I love.
Yeah. The creativity?
It's very,
yeah.
I like it. I like the monster designs went crazy here.
I think this one especially went a little bit harder than last time. Up next, our overall.
And for overall, we give it I give it 8.9.
I give it 8.7.
Yeah.
Pretty close, yeah.
I was gonna say 9, but I feel like it's not, because like this is just like the beginning. My expectations for season 2 is that I want it to be more action-packed and be like 2 extra episodes. Because like kind of like similar to like the first original season of a Castlevania, this feels like it's just building up to the main event. You know, this is just a prerequisite, because like it's the first season, so you can't expect them to already win already.
Oh, of course not. No.
It was already. I already know it's like they're not gonna win. They can't. Like, yeah, he just got his magic bag, but it's not like he's gonna fucking whip ass now.
I'd love to raise a red glass, but I didn't think that far ahead, so I didn't bring
but it's good.
Cranberry juice with me.
It's a pretty good show. I'm expecting more for season 1. The characters were great. I like the vampires. I'm excited to see what other vampires are going to bring in for the next season. Now, on to the QPR review total. Jamantha, hit us with that gay shit.
Alright, so for a QPR total for Castlevania Nocturne, you got an 83, which is a B.
B. I mean, it's expected. It's the first season. It needs to be better. I want it to be better in season 2.
You want it to be better?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. I would like to recommend Digital Circus. It's incredible.
Follow our social media. We need more views and likes here.
Yo, if you want to do a TikTok dance wearing one of our outfits over the course of the entire series,
cut it off.
Fucking do it.